I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us names. I can feel the sunlight shining in.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Brian, and today is Tuesday, July 16th, 2024, and this is episode 742 of the Lots Project podcast, and it's titled Well Done, Charlie. I'll be chatting about a trip to Charlie's new place, a trip to Delinquents Gully, and Kori's idea of the perfect day. Good morning. How's everybody doing? First off, we'll jump over into the live chat, see who's hanging out in the coffee crew, grab a cup and hang out for an hour. It's early, guys. It's early. Got everything's all kind of whacked out. Got this big cut on my nose here. You can see it if you're watching the video stream. Sorry, backwards there. I got this big weird. It was, I think it turned out as like a snag from a raspberry bush and just has gone and expanded. So that's lovely. No, it's been weird. Kori's off of work, so our schedules kind of flip-flopped in the morning. Now I'm getting up first and doing my stuff, and then she gets up. And I'm just working away on the computer as normal in the morning when I got a few extra minutes. And she's getting ready to take the dogs out. I look down and there's like 2 minutes left before it's time to start the show. And I was like, whew. Get in that routine, and when it changes, man, things go sideways. Let's see who's hanging out over here. We got Pip in early. Good morning, humans. Good morning to you, Pip. 5:56. Not that early. Hope you're doing all right. Rewilder Life, good morning. Thanks for stopping. Missed you yesterday, but sounded like you were pretty beat. Good morning to you. You got a hair care ad. Yeah, hair care. That doesn't work around here for sure. Canadian Farmstead, good morning on the road. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it as always. What's in the cup? Today? Good morning, Jamie. Off Grid Ping popping in. How we doing? Got to meet Jamie yesterday. That was another nice part of going out to Delinquents Gully. We got to meet Jamie and the in-laws, and Kori got to see all the animals. In-laws got to see what Jamie's got going on, and always like stopping in to see a friend. What do we got in the cup today? We're rolling with the GSD again. It's fantastic. It'll get you up and going for sure. Light roast, super light roast, combination of a couple of different light roasts with very high caffeine content. Because if you didn't know, the darker the roast coffee, the less caffeine it has. I mean, it makes sense if you think about it the proper way. The longer you roast it, the more caffeine gets burned off of the coffee beans. So when you grind it and you drink it, you get less caffeine. Light roast, more caffeine. Dark roast, less caffeine. I asked Brian to come up with a blend for me that had the highest amount of caffeine without just jacking you up and getting you all jittery. And he nailed it. Get shit done blend. You have a pot. You feel like it's time to get work done, get out there, get stuff going. But it doesn't make you jittery, and it lasts a long time. So check it out over at foodforestfarms.com. GSD blend under the Lots Project tab. You can find out all the other blends that we have come up with for my brand, but also a bunch of other ones for other brands that are members of his C4 club, and then everything that Brian offers of his own. Foodforestfarms.com, a great place to pick up micro batch air roasted coffee. You can get it for 10% off with discount code LOTS10, LOTS10, 10% off one-time code. Or if you've already used that, take another 5% off your next order with always free shipping. LOTS5, LOTS5 will get you 5% off. I suggest you do it. Give it a try. You won't be disappointed. Good morning, Hunter. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it over on Twitch. You are my Twitch guy for sure. Holding guard over there. Rewilder Life says, works for my long hair. Yeah, working outside in this heat has been exhausting. The in-laws are a little shocked, I guess. Different type of weather down here than it is up in Minnesota. So, I mean, I asked Kori a couple times over the last 6 months when they decided they were going to make a trip down here, and they decided they were going to come in July. And then they decided they were going to come in the middle of July. I said, I don't know if middle of July is the most temperate time to come here and visit Tennessee. And they nailed it. They nailed it. Heat advisories every day, and it's just warm. Just warm. It's been pushing 100 with feels like, or heat index or whatever that is, well over 100 the last couple days. So, welcome to Tennessee in the summer. It is better what it is. I keep telling them, anytime it's cold, anytime it's warm, anytime it's hot, and I want to find myself saying, holy crap, it's so hot. This is so hot. This is miserable. All I say is it's not negative 30. So it's just what I repeat to myself, and it makes it okay. Drenched in sweat, tired, falling over. All I say is it's not negative 30. Good morning, K-Bonk. How we doing? Thanks for stopping. Appreciate you for sure. Yeah, so it's been hot. It's been hot. In-laws brought a little blow-up kiddie pool. Since they have grandkids that are in that single-digit range, and they had it in the camper. They blew it up yesterday, and we were all sitting out, and I did not partake in the feet cooling. But yeah, lawn chairs around a little blow-up Hot Wheels pool in the front yard. So when in Tennessee, act like the Tennesseans, I suppose. What are we talking about today? Probably touch on a little bit more of the shooting yesterday. Had more kind of shooting on, what was that, on Saturday. Had more of that roll into my feed yesterday. Some interesting stuff and some real perspective stuff from people that just sat back for a second and then evaluated. Didn't jump right on the let's talk about whatever we see and whatever we think is important, whatever information is being fed to us, and those knee-jerk reactions. People just kind of like sat back and took it all in, and then took some time to think about what they wanted to say. So that was refreshing. When we took a couple of trips yesterday, and we're taking another one today. Kori is super excited. I can't believe Kori wasn't up at like 3 a.m, like dressed and ready. When you were a kid and you're going on vacation, or you're going to go do something really exciting, and you get up, maybe Christmas morning, you get up and you sit there and you're so excited, and you get dressed, can't sleep, and you just wait and wait. I'm surprised when I got up and woke up this morning, Kori wasn't sitting there sipping tea, just ready to go. But Marie Wilder Life says the BlackRock ad was yanked. Is that the ad with the kid in it? I mean, yippee. I see reports that the kid hasn't had he's 20 years old, and he's never had a social media post ever on any platform or anything at 20 years old in 2024. Yep. Yeah. Whatever. I saw all the stuff with that he had that Trump had another hole in his jacket, and that he must have had the bulletproof vest on underneath, that they plugged him twice. He got him in the chest, but was saved. I don't know how true that was. I mean, there is a picture. I saw a picture with a hole, whether it was a shadow, whether it was an actual hole, whatever. I don't know. I'm hearing second shooter stuff. It's a shit show. It is an absolute shit show. And Pip says, scrub the servers? You mean like with a towel? Right. Yeah, it's a failure of the Secret Service is all it is, really. A complete and utter failure. And that's kind of what Hunter says. The wife said that the counter sniper got fired. I think anybody on that Secret Service duty should been fired. How do you have an unmanned or unprotected high point that close? That close. Backwoods Butcher. Wow. Nice of you to come and join the little people again. Appreciate you stopping by and gracing us with your presence. What's the special occasion this morning that you were able to stop by and slum with us? I think the whole crew, the whole Hunter says because he disobeyed orders. Wow. Imagine that. I would have to say that the whole thing was a breakdown in protection, and that's what it is. Backwoods Butcher said they passed the book and said that was supposed to be the state police's jurisdiction. There is no jurisdiction when it comes to your job protecting the person that you're in charge of protecting. Like that's their one and only job, is to make sure that dude is alive and uninjured. And they did well. They did a really, really good job. They did a really, 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 really good job. He's only got an extra hole in his ear now. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Anyway. Rewilder Life says slum. Excuse me. Not you, Rachel. Not you. It's just that Kyle's gotten so famous now doing his Tiggity Talks, and he's such a big influencer that I feel like he's lowering himself to come hang out with the little guys again. So I know Rachel is a lot more famous than the rest of us, and I appreciate her humbling herself every morning to come and hang out with the coffee crew. Oh man. Oh, Ray Wilder Life says she's not on TikTok, so I wouldn't know. Well, I mean, our friend Kyle here. Whew, oh man. Oh, he is he's something else. He's something else. Wilder Life says I made $83 last month. Hey, $83 is more than zero. It's okay, Kyle. It's okay. Kyle says he's had a lot of stuff going on. I know you made a road trip and a lot of stuff, and you got kids and all that. I'm just busting your balls a little bit, man. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Thanks for stopping. Appreciate any views we can get, and it was nice of you to dedicate your time to the show. Appreciate it. All right. Well, yesterday morning we got up. It was first day that it was the first day that Kori's parents were here. We want to make the most of their time that they're here and go do some visits, visit some things, see the sites, eat the places that Kori and I eat that we enjoy. We went to Hillbillies on Sunday night after they got here, and we got chicken wings, and they were fantastic. I had some left over yesterday. So the plan on Monday was we wanted to get them out to see Delinquents Gully, to see the parcel of land that we're going to be building on, our build site, all the progress that we've made on the property. Since they haven't been down here, they've never seen any of that. So we had described it to them. They had seen videos and everything, but it's always nice to go out and see it in person. It was warm. We got up after the show, got everything around. We got out there early and took a nice big walk. I think they were impressed. At least they tried to make me feel good and tell me they were impressed with the progress we've made. Kori and I kind of explained to them that when we when we pulled up to that property about a year and a half ago, you couldn't get off the road, and we walked nice trails the whole way. Did a whole tour of the property. So, I mean, and that in itself is an accomplishment when it's chest high, solid blackberries the whole way. We gave him a tour of Tim's cabin and his site and the bathhouse and kind of showed him that. We walked them up to our site, showed them where we had cleared out kind of our plans, the footprint of where we want to put the cabin, and showed them the progress on the sheds and that all that progress. And then down in the nursery, showed them the plans we're going to do about that. We didn't run into any snakes or critters or anything that was super scary. There was a little bit of nervousness about that as we walked around. This it is a new thing when you come from Minnesota coming down here. There's nothing that will kill you in Minnesota other than like large predators like bears and wolves and shit. There's no poisonous snakes. There's no venomous snakes. There's no spiders that'll kill you or anything like that. So when you come here, you get kind of on a little bit of alert. I mean, I was when I first came here. I've kind of really dialed it back at this point where I just kind of roll with it. It's not a big deal. I see them and sometimes they'll startle me, but I've gotten comfortable with the danger level here. It's not quite as bad as it can be a lot of other places. So keep your eyes open and know what you're looking for and know what to do if something happens Nothing here is going to kill you instantly. It might suck a little bit, but nothing here is going to kill you instantly. So we took that walk around and then we stopped and saw Jamie at Off Grid Ping. Took a tour around his place. Kori was excited. She hadn't been out in a while. She got to see baby Bruno. She got to see all the chickens and the turkey and the cat and baby bunnies. Jamie had baby bunnies and chicks. Couple of brand new chicks just came out of the incubator. She was in heaven. We walked over to the bunny cage and Kori's like walking up. She's like, "Do you have any baby bunnies?" And Jamie's like, "Yeah, we just had a couple that started to come up out of the like little hutch they have." So he has got this really cool setup where he has a normal like wooden frame hutch cage, sits up on legs, and then he's got a tunnel that goes down to like a huge box, like a den almost. Like it's almost like they were going down a rabbit hole that they would dug like naturally. And then he's got a whole open area back in there for them to nest and to kind of do their thing. He said that the bunnies had just started coming up the ramp, and we walk over and one's sitting in his food dish. And he was just like a little snow cone sitting in the dish. He basically filled it and sat like in the dish. Tiny little dish, tiny little bunny. Kori thought it was the most adorable thing she's ever seen. It was pretty cute, I have to admit. What was your favorite part of Jamie's animals? The little bunny in the dish? She likes the little bunny in the dish, and she likes the big turkey. The big turkey's pretty cool. The one and only lonely turkey. Zedred over on the vertical feed asks, rabbit is okay. Have you ever eaten it? I ate a lot of rabbit. I raised rabbits for a few years when we had a homestead. We ate lots of rabbit. I actually prefer rabbit to chicken. And if I had a choice of raising one or the other, I would say rabbit would be my preference. So yes, I have eaten it and eaten a lot of it actually. So thanks for stopping, man. Hit that like and subscribe if you would over there on the vertical feed. I appreciate it. And yeah, you got a super chat, man. I could tell you a joke. I could give you a random fact, or man, I've been known to show my weenus right here on the show. So hit that super chat too if you'd like. Jamie says the bunny in the dish was super cute. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was almost like Jamie knew that we were going to walk over there, and he went and he stuck the bunny in the dish because he didn't look like he really fit in the dish. Like I wasn't sure how he got in the dish, and maybe he had been stuck in there and was suctioned. I don't know, but it was it was pretty comical when we walked up. And then Kori's like really quiet. She's like, Mom, come here. Mom, come here. Look at the bunny. We were hoping he wouldn't run away and jump out of the dish. So that was a good trip. They enjoyed it. We got some exercise. We got out of there before it was too incredibly hot. Then we came back and they soaked their Backwoods Butcher says down the rabbit hole. Sounds like me this week. Do those jokes you're broke, man, no problem. Hit that like and subscribe. That's free. I appreciate it. And the comments work too, man. No worries at all. Thanks for stopping and rolling and watching a little bit. I appreciate it. Thanks. I appreciate the sub. Backwoods Butcher, does that comedy work over on TikTok? Because man, that's just killing it here. That's killing it here. Pip says, I wonder where you could get suction cups for rabbits and ducks. Man, that would be a 100% plugsy right there if you were trying to attach that rabbit to the. Oh no. You might need a little bigger stem on the duction cup for the baby bunnies. And we'll move away from that right now. Got home and soaked feet in the pool. Did it real redneck out in front yard, looking at the street, people waving as they went by. It was all right. It was all right. Sat out in the shade. Realized that when they were on their way here, we were waiting for them to show up, and we never really go around to the road side of our camper. We have a really nice setup where the camper door faces away from the main road that we walk the dogs on. And we park on that side because it's a big U and we're parked in the middle of the U, but we're faced away from the road. So like we go out the door and kind of stay blocked, and all our stuff stays blocked from the road. The truck's blocked from the road. And we kind of, when we're outside, we stay on that side just because I don't really need to be on the roadside doing what I'm doing. It's nobody's business. I just do my thing. But when we were waiting for Kori's parents and we wanted to see the road and we wanted to make sure they came in the right driveway, we went over there and it's like probably 5 degrees cooler at least. And the breeze actually blows over there. So Kori and I might end up spending more time over on the backside. I don't know. In the breeze and in the shade. We'll see. But we sat over there with the pool and decided what we were doing for the evening. We had to, I think I mentioned it yesterday. We had 4 restaurants we wanted to take them to while they were here. We wanted to take them to Hillbillies to get wings. We wanted to take them to Charlie's to get pizza. We wanted to take them to Mexican food, which we get quite often with our friends Norman and Herschel. And then we wanted to get down to Earl's, where we enjoy going and get a burger, or Kori gets baked potato. Baked potatoes are huge here, guys. You would never even think of it. You can get like a baked potato meal with like a baked potato and pulled pork, a baked potato and fried chicken, all sorts of stuff on it. So Kori really likes those. I've never had them. The burgers are fantastic there, though. So those are kind of the 4 restaurants that we go to that we found that we like. But their schedules are so weird here, and I've talked about this a few times on the show. Some are closed Monday and Tuesday. Some are closed Tuesday. Some are never closed. Mexican restaurants never closed unless they are. We showed up one day and they had a sign on the door that says, "Sorry, we're closed." They hadn't been closed a day since we moved here, and just randomly they were closed one day. Open back up the next day. But so we had to figure out the schedule on where we were going to eat. So two of the restaurants that we wanted to go to were closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, but Charlie's, the pizza place, is only closed on Tuesdays. So we figured out the schedule. Off-Grid Pring says, if she likes baked potatoes, you should try Prater's Taters in Parsons. Pretty good. We've actually been to Prater's Taters. Tim and Becky and Kori and I were going out to dinner and before they left the one trip. And it was a Monday, and Prater's Taters was basically the only thing open. We went to Prater's Taters, and I got a sandwich. It was good sandwich. Kori got a potato. But yeah, it's a big thing around here. But Charlie's was the perfect choice for yesterday. Go get some pizza. Kori's parents have probably the best pizza I had in Minnesota. Uh, right near their house. Like that's their local pizza place. It took a while for me to find it when I was in Minnesota, but once I did, it was like the winner for sure. Old school pizza place. They had 2 locations that had old original pizza ovens that just make all the difference. If you've ever dove into pizza and what makes it good, the oven is one of the biggest things. You can't get the crust right without the oven, and the crust is the base of the pizza. Um, so they know what it even just by default they know what good pizza is. They've grown up around it. It was right there. They both grew up where they live, like within a couple blocks of where they live now. So they've been around this pizza place, so they know it by default. So I wanted to take them to Charlie's, especially after we told them the trouble we had finding pizza here and getting away from that sweet sauce and just the weird shit they do with it in this area. And so Charlie's happened to be having their ribbon cutting yesterday. So we were like, oh shit, hope he doesn't run out of dough or something like that. But we really wanted to go down and see his brand new storefront. It had been a while. It had been about 3 weeks, I think, 4 weeks maybe, since he brought his food truck here to town. Hadn't had the pizza, was really looking forward to getting down there and trying it. So we drove down. It's probably 30 minutes from here now, instead of the 1.5 minutes it used to take me to where he parked his food truck. It was worth it. It was definitely worth it. I was excited to go down and see him. I was excited to go down and see his space. I had seen pictures of the outside on Facebook, but I hadn't seen the inside. He has a really cool space. He's got a nice big space. They kept it pretty plain so far. I think they're going to do a lot of murals and hang up pictures. They have a ton of space, so I don't know if they'll do like entertainment or anything in there. But sweet little pizza parlor. Really, really, I think he's going to do really well there. It seems like he has a lot of support from the local community, and his product speaks for itself. And so we decided to order. On the way there, Kori's parents are like, so what do they have? And we were like, well, we get pizza. And they're like, well, what kind's your favorite pizza? And she's like, we only get pepperoni pizza. She's like, Brian only will eat pepperoni pizza. It is. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Pip says the snowbirds say that the pizza is all wrong. In Florida, the water is all wrong. There is something to say about the water. New York City water in general. There was a pizza place I went to when I was in college in Buffalo that the guy was from New York City, and he used to have water toted in from the city. Good morning, John Palmer. Backwoods Butcher says, I'm so adventurous. I'm so adventurous. Yes, I am. I just know what I like, and that's what I get. I don't need to try something new to find out if I like it when I already like something that satisfies me. Like, if pepperoni pizza is what I like, and I know that he makes a good pepperoni pizza, and it's the right price, why would I have to get something else? What if I'm disappointed in that and all I had to do was buy the less expensive one topping thing that he makes fantastic? I don't know. I mean, I think that's a reasonable thought, but maybe not. Maybe not. Anyway, we got down there. We ordered up pepperoni. They also got a Supreme or something. It had a bunch of crap on it. I don't know. It has green peppers on it. So basically, if I ate a piece of it, I would be burping up green peppers until Tuesday next week. Blackwood says I'm a buffalo chicken pizza guy from Domino's, probably, or some shit. Like, you would have to eat flaming hot buffalo sauce on a Domino's pizza to make it even tolerable. So that doesn't surprise me. We ordered it, got our garlic knots. Charlie recognized me from the food truck, and we talked a little bit for a second. They were kind of busy. They had quite a few to-go orders going. There were a couple people sitting in, dining in. They got a bunch of booths in there, and they brought the pizza out, and I was looking at it. I was like, this looks decent. I mean, I knew it would be decent, but it looked different, a little bit different. Pip says add pineapple too. Backward says they don't make it that far north. I assume the pineapples are not the Domino's, right? Do you eat Domino's pizza, Kyle? Where do you get your buffalo chicken pizza? Is it from Little Caesars or Domino's? Anyway, the pizza looked good, and I was telling them, I was like, yeah, he makes the crust really good. I picked up crust, I was looking at it, I was like, it looks really good. It looks really good. And so we're eating it. It tasted good. And I didn't know if it had been the fact that we hadn't been there for 3 weeks or a little longer. But or had the pizza. I hadn't this first time we had been to his actual storefront. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, there's something about this. There's something about this pizza. So Charlie came over to make sure everything was. Oh God. Kyle says both don't make it up here. There's a local country store that makes decent pizza. You're coming down here for SRF, right? We'll go get Charlie's while you're and I'll show you. I'll show you what decent is. Charlie came over and he's like, "Hey, how was it? How is it?" I mean, the guy's very, very conscious of customer service. If he wants to know what's going on, he values his customers' opinions, which is fantastic. And he came over and he's like, "What? How is it? How is it?" I was like, "It's really good. It's really good." He's like, "What do you think of the crust?" And I was like, "It's good. It's a little different." And he says it got a new oven. So he was in an enclosed trailer. He was very limited in space. He had a pizza oven, and he knows how to work it. He knows how the temperature and the cook time and all of that works together to make a good pizza crust. Crispy on the bottom, but you can fold it. It's still pliable, doesn't break in half, holds your stuff, but there's a snap when you fold it. He got that. That was what was impressive, and his sauce and his willingness to spend extra money on the cheese to make sure that it's good cheese and it melts properly. Like he understands the mechanics of making a good pizza. But he said, when I got the new oven for the storefront, it gets hotter. It gets hotter, and it also had thicker stones, both on top and bottom in the oven chamber, which makes it all the difference. It's the temperature plus the residual heat from the stones. And man, he nailed it. It is better than what he had in his truck. And that's tough. That's tough. I was starting to wonder as I was eating it whether I was just it was like the best of the worst before. Like, is the pizza here so bad that just someone that made a mediocre, good New York style pizza was like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever had. And now that he has a storefront, it's better. But I don't think it is. I think out of the truck, it was fantastic. And now that he has an oven, and he like upgraded, it's kind of like when you have a shitty camera and you upgrade to a new camera and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe the difference. You were a good photographer before, but now with the right equipment, you're like a fucking Picasso. I don't know. I definitely will be back. I will be back. It's too far to go weekly, I think. maybe. Depends. But we'll definitely be back to check out Charlie's. um, yeah, yeah, I was happy. I was happy for sure. So Kyle says there's cocaine in the crust. I don't think there is. I don't think there's any cocaine in the crust. So we came back, we hung out the rest of the night. It was a good trip. I enjoyed it. I was glad that I got to go over there. I got to see it. It looked like his ribbon cutting went well. They had the Chamber of Commerce there for Adamsville. If you're in Adamsville, Tennessee, or anywhere near it, driving through it, definitely pick up the Google and find Charlie's Pizza on the listing and stop in and grab a slice. He's open every day except for Tuesdays. So if you're driving through on Tuesday, get a hotel and wait till Wednesday. It'll be worth it for lunch. Opens at 11 a.m. So I asked him, I'm curious about the truck. Or the trailer. I guess I want to call it a food truck, but it's basically an enclosed trailer that got converted. And I was wondering what he was doing with it, whether he's going to hold on to it, whether he sold it off to pay for the equipment for the shop, or what he was doing. And I said, hey, Charlie, sorry guys, I had some shit pop up here on the screen. Backwoods Butcher says, but Tuesdays when I drive through weekly. That might fly on TikTok, not here on YouTube though, Kyle. So I said, hey Charlie, so you still gonna do events? You're obviously not doing daily, 5 days a week going and hauling the trailer around. And I asked his coworker Lori. I don't know if it's his significant other or not. I'm not really sure. I've never really put that together. But the woman that helps him in the food truck was also there helping him at the restaurant. And I said, well, what are you doing with the truck? And Lori looks over and she goes, it's too damn hot in that thing. I'm gonna be right here in the air conditioning. And so I was like, oh. It sounds like they're not doing much of the food truck here in July or August. They're gonna hang out in the pizzeria, which I don't blame them. But Charlie's like, well, I got one event I'm doing in September. I'm doing a wedding for 100 people, and I'm like, I could roll with pizza at a reception if it was Charlie's. I think Charlie's would do a fantastic pizza wedding reception. So he's still rolling with the truck. I'm curious how the truck would do. I think he would do just fine still, even with a standalone location. I think he could do really well. I think the events he does is I don't think he's getting rid of it. I don't think he's getting rid of it. I wish I could convince him to or it made sense. Actually, it's not that I couldn't convince him. I don't know if I could push hard enough, knowing situations and knowing things that went on. I don't know if I could push him enough to get him up to SRF. But man, that'd be some good pies at SRF. Pip says pizza sauce all over the wedding dress. I don't know. We did a whole hog barbecue at our wedding reception. Kori didn't really care about her wedding dress though, since she did fucking farm chores in it after the reception, or after. Yeah, it was after the reception we went and did farm chores. When we got married at our farm, and Kori is not a girly girl. Most of the girly girl things she did for the wedding were forced upon her. And I say forced upon her. It's not that she didn't end up appreciating it, I guess. But she didn't spend a lot of money on a dress. I think what was your whole thing was like $200 or less. Dress, everything, $200 or less. And so when the photographer showed up to do pictures before the vertical feed, Zed says, man, I got married at a park Yeah, we got married. We had a 5-acre hayfield behind our house that we mowed down. We put up a circus tent. We had a hog roast and I don't know, like 200 people, 150, 200 people over to our place and had a big old wedding. But we did a hog roast back there. Kori was not worried about her dress, but the photographer showed up at the house before to do the pre-pictures, and she obviously had dealt with some women that were very concerned about their dress. Probably had a lot more than $200 wrapped up into their clothes for the wedding. But she's like, "Can we go walk down this dirt road?" Kori's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Can we walk over here and take pictures in the field?" She's like, "Yeah." We're like tromping through like waist high fucking field. And the photographer's like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" Yeah. So we had barbecue too. So, I mean, way messier than pizza. Way messier than pizza. I think we could make it happen with pizza. And Charlie's isn't over sauced for sure. Charlie's is very, I think it would be more pepperoni grease on your wedding dress than pizza sauce. So Zed said that actually sounds nice. A park is more public. I'm not a park people person. Yeah, this was not public. We had 35 acres on the end of a dirt road. We were like the end people on the dirt road, and we had it out behind the house. So it was very private. It was nice. It was nice for sure. Backwoods Butcher says we had a turkey dinner family style. Hey, 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 Joe, when you're done with your mind if we're good or family style? Family style. So that was yesterday. It was good. It was a good day. I was excited to get down there. I was happy to go walk the in-laws around the property. The pizza was fantastic. It was exciting that it was better. Like this was solid take me back to home pizza. Taking me back to New York when I was a kid. Um it was good. It was good. Bravo, man. Bravo. Backwoods Butcher says Nicole had a vegetarian option. Of course she did. Of course the butcher married a vegetarian lesbian. You must cook and do something else very well, Kyle. I just have to admit that. I have to admit that. You've converted her on two fronts. Like, what? Every time you would tell me more about your wife, I was like, wait, what? This is like a mercy marriage. She felt bad for Kyle, so she gave up on all her principles to make the kid happy. So lucky you, man. I appreciate it. So, but anyway, we're sitting around trying to figure out what we were going to do today. Kyle says he doesn't need to brag. We can talk to Nicole about how that all went down, if you'd like. I'm guessing that she's not going to give you much credit for either of those conversions. So we're sitting trying to figure out what we're going to do today. Wednesday, it's supposed to be a little cooler here, and we're probably going to go down to Shiloh, the battlefield here close to Savannah. Shiloh and Counts, if you've heard of them. If you haven't, not surprised, but it's a national park battlefield where you can go and learn some history. Drive around. There's a drive-through park and all sorts of different apps you can use to it tells you what happened at those places. There's a memorial cemetery and the whole thing. Backwoods says she'll give me full credit on the cooking and the meat. Yeah, unless you're not there. Unless you're not there. So that's going to be Wednesday. And so yesterday or today was kind of up in the air. There isn't a whole lot to do in this area. It's very rural. It's not a tourist trap. It's like in between, directly in between Nashville and Memphis. The Tennessee River is what it is. It's there. We went down and we looked at the river. Oh, yesterday we did take them down and show them where people drive into the river. And big news update, they put a big orange barrier in the way. I guess enough people had died that they spent the like $400 on the fillable orange barriers so people don't drive down the boat launch off of Main Street into the river. So that's impressive. That's impressive. It only took I've heard of 3. There's been 1 since we've been here, and I heard of 2 prior of people driving into the river and dying. So it only took 3 people dying to put up some barriers. I mean, they tried their best. There were big flashing signs and stop signs with flashing lights on them, several of them. And you really needed to drive down a 45-degree incline to get into the river. So I don't know what they were supposed to do to make it less of an option. But they did put the orange barriers in, and I don't think you would have to do a stroke of business to drive into the river now. But we took them down. They showed them the river, and it's super exciting. It's water. It's a big river. It is what it is. But other than that, there isn't a whole lot to do around here. And so I said, Kori, what do you want to do? And Kori came up with a brilliant plan. I think it was more that she wanted to do it than that she thought her parents would want to do it. But her parents are excited about doing it too. But Kori and I and the in-laws today will be going to. She's starting to smile a little bit thinking about it. We're gonna go to the Safari Zoo Park, drive-through Safari Park. So about an hour and a half from here. We've seen it. We saw the sign for it when we first came here. When we were traveling here from Texas, we hadn't even been to our site here yet. We were driving along, and there's a big sign that's got a giraffe and some zebras on it. And it says drive through Safari Park. And Kori's like, we need to go to that. And I looked at the GPS and I was like, we're like an hour and a half from where we're going to stay. I don't know how we're going. Are we really going to take the time to drive back here sometime to go to the Safari Park? She's like, yes. Yes. Kyle wants you to send him all the pictures today. She said she will, Kyle. Don't worry. And so we've been here over a year and we haven't gone to the Safari Park. We went up to Jackson a couple times to do some shopping in the big city of Jackson. And you see the signs, and Kori's like, we need to go to the Safari Park. And I'm like, yeah. Well, we're going today. We're going. So what it is, I guess, is a 7.5 mile drive through Safari. And then they also have a 20-acre walk-through zoo. They have zebras. Okay, tell me the things they got. Zebras, lions, giraffes, wildebeest. They have several types of antelopes, monkeys. She doesn't know. She's so overwhelmed with the possibility of all the animals that she just doesn't even know. But I'm kind of excited. They said that there's a possibility that you can literally feed a giraffe by holding a carrot in your mouth. And it gives you an old 18-incher to the face, 18-inch tongue. Backwoods Butcher's wondering if they have a grizzly bear with Down syndrome like Six Flags. I did not know that Six Flags had a Downsy grizzly bear, And I didn't necessarily know that grizzly bears could get Down syndrome. I researched if other animals could have Down syndrome when I had a dog that I thought had Down syndrome, and it didn't seem like that was a possibility. Zed was wondering, whereabouts did you live in Texas? We stayed a winter down in, was it Huntsville? Navasota, near Huntsville, outside of Houston, about halfway between Houston and Dallas. We just stayed the winter down there. We traveled for a year in our RV, and we still live in our RV, but we're putting up a little cabin currently here in Tennessee, and then deciding what we're going to do moving forward after that. Backwoods says he sent it to me on TikTok. If I showed you guys the absolute shit show of stuff that Kyle sends me on TikTok, you can't watch all of it. You like, I start to watch it and then I'm like, what's wrong with you? Mainly the ones when he sends me his own, because I don't know if he doesn't think that I don't follow him and see all his stuff, but he sends me the TikToks he makes too. So Backwoods Butcher says he just sits by the electric fence bouncing. That sounds more like autism than Down syndrome. Huh? Kori says he's just bored. The bear is just bored. Kyle says I send him a lot of shit. One day a week, I send Kyle a bunch of TikToks, and they're all phenomenally entertaining or informational. He says, you send me some wild shit on laundry day. I do. I'm not lying. I'm not going to lie and say I don't send them like 40 TikToks when I'm doing laundry, but they're all highly entertaining or informational. No Downsy bears or anything. So we get to go and drive through the safari park today. I think Kori and her family have driven through at least one, several. Kori says I've been through a few. And they figured out that you don't feed the animals from inside the vehicle. So they sell the little buckets of feed. And Kori said, no, that's a no-go, especially if her parents want to drive their truck home without having to get it detailed. I think that the animals get a little rowdy inside the vehicle, get a little slobbery. We're used to it. We could probably take our truck and you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference between the St. Bernard slobber and the zoo animal slobber. I don't know. But that should be fun. They've been through it. I've never been through a drive-through safari. I've never been through a drive-through zoo of any sort. I have been to a zoo beyond that, like the normal walk-through zoos. I'm hoping to see some good animal action today. Maybe get some good videos of some animal action. It'll be interesting. My wife will be happy. She'll be ecstatic, and that's what makes me happy. I really should have taken her to this place before this, but I'm glad we didn't, because this gives us something to do today. It gives us something to do for sure. Backwoods said no, they had to separate him because the other bears were beating him up. So now Bobo just steaming hard by the fence. Huh. Why were they beating? What was? Does he really have? Like, what does the zoo say is wrong with him? I always liked going to the Como Zoo in Minneapolis. I guess it's in St. Paul. When we lived up there, the Como Zoo was like the free zoo. The Minnesota Zoo was the pay zoo. And you go to You go to the Como Zoo and there'd be some guy from the Socialist Party of America outside trying to hand you flyers, and you'd walk in, and the exhibits were, it was all done by donations and state funding, so you can imagine how really nice it was. But the animals there look so sad. You'd go look at the gorillas, and the gorilla would just like sit at the plexiglass, and you just kind of look at you like, yeah, I'm here. I'm here. And then he'd rub his dong for a bit, maybe throw some poo. They were never really that active when I went to the Como Zoo, but then went to the Minnesota Zoo, and the animals seemed much happier. Did you experience that? Did you think that was kind of what you said? What's that? Hey Radit, am I married? Yeah, I'm married. I'm married. I got a beautiful wife. We've been together for like 15 years. Kori said, yeah, the difference was striking. You could tell that some were taken care of and some weren't, for sure. But the Como Zoo, you could see some interesting shit, man. The animals, when the animals aren't taken care of and they're in captivity and they're bored, they do some interesting stuff for sure. Backwoods says, we've got York's Wild Kingdom up here. It's basically Tiger King, but in Maine. Rat says, am I scared of alimony? No, not at all. Not at all. Some people ask the weirdest questions. I don't know. I don't get it. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. We're going to take off. We'll have a full report about it, I'm sure, after and tomorrow. Other thing going on today, Prime Days. Prime Days are going on today and tomorrow. I was just poking around before the show, looking at some Prime Day stuff, and it looks like a bunch of shit's on sale, guys. I just popped a general affiliate link to the Amazon homepage, and if you click on that and start your shopping for Prime Day at the link, you will you'll earn me a little commission. Won't cost you any extra. You'll still get your Prime Day deals and stuff like that. But yeah, I was just looking, lots of big sales on EcoFlow battery banks and solar generators, basically battery banks and solar panels. Right, wondering if I can afford a razor. I can fucking afford a razor. I just don't spend the time to shave my face. What the fuck is the point? What difference does it make? Just a waste of time, waste of energy. But the EcoFlow solar generators seem to be on pretty deep discount, like 50-60% off on those. Check those out. And that's about all I got into, because like I said, I'm not lazy, dude. I'm about far from lazy as you'd get. Thanks though, appreciate you. That's all. I only got to that kind of digging into the Prime Day deals. I'm not necessarily buying anything. I don't think I have anything that I need. But if you do, and you're going to go shopping over there anyway, because you've been waiting to buy some big expensive item, please hit my link first. I appreciate that. Rod says, I've been a bad boy. Don't do that, man. Stop saying that. I might end up getting a chub or something. Kyle says, good show, buddy. I appreciate it. You taking off. I hope you have a great day. Kori will definitely send you some pictures. Send you some pictures from the zoo. I'm hoping to see some zebras and some giraffes, and I really would like to see an elephant, but I don't think they have any elephants up there. We haven't seen anything listed. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping it's entertaining. Everybody kept saying every once in a while, somebody in the group, the Kori and her parents and I would sit there and be like, man, I hope the animals aren't hiding. And then we'd look at each other and go, it's a safari. They're used to being in Africa. Like, how much better weather for them to be out and hanging out than 100 degrees and humid, like on a safari. We're gonna get the full safari experience, not only the animals but the weather. John Palmer says, why do people care so much about other people's grooming habits? Why do people give a shit about other people in general? Grooming habits or anything else? Backwoods Butcher says, excuse me, Zookeeper, do you have any retarded animals? I have a friend that's fascinated by them. He may be a little retarded too. Zed's got my back. Zed says, nah, man, facial hair, if we shave, we look way younger than we are. Yeah, that is for sure. It's been probably over 10 years at least since I had a clean face. I haven't had a clean face since I met you, so it's been over 15 years. Zed says, my internet must suck. My comments aren't posted immediately. You might be on a little bit of a delay, man. I don't know. And it takes me a minute to get over. I got multiple screens going here, and so sometimes it takes me a minute to get over to your comments. I appreciate you hanging out. Backwoods says he's got a mental connection with the slow animals. Is it so? I know it's not PC to talk about, use the R word when talking about humans. What about animals? Backwoods Butcher says, my kids wouldn't know what to do if I shave. That's where they keep their snacks, and that's how they climb up to give daddy a hug. They just like grab his beard and climb up his lap. I don't know what else he does. They do. Why they wouldn't know what to do. I would probably go more like, my kids wouldn't recognize me if I shaved, not my kids wouldn't know what to do if I shaved. But you do you, Kyle. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Get out of here. I'm going to have some coffee, hang out with the in-laws, and we're going to take off and head on over to Safari Park and see some animals. I'm excited. And then we're going to get Mexican with friends tonight and take them down to the best little Mexican restaurant in the West Tennessee area. So I hope everybody has a good Prime Day. Backwoods says, I think you can make fun of everyone, especially you. Hope everybody, if you're going out and shopping on Prime Day, you hit that link. I appreciate that. Other than that, I appreciate everybody hanging out this morning and listening. If you enjoyed the show, it's always free to hit that like, share, and subscribe to return value for value. Please consider joining one of the YouTube membership tiers or listening on any value for value platform like Podverse or Fountain.fm. You can visit thelotsproject.com or comforyroots.com for more information about me, all my product links, all my affiliate codes, all my discount links, recommended products, and all of that stuff. Have a great day, guys. It's Tuesday. Kori's rolling, enjoying her vacation. She's way more smiley than any other time. So I'm excited about that. I love seeing my wife happy. And I'm sure there'll be big old smiles today in the zoo. Have a great day, guys, and we will catch up with you again tomorrow.
Smile.